Hello there, my Maple Leaf fans. Welcome to the pregame conference before they take on the Calgary Flames. I'm now going to take you live to the pregame. Yeah.
Dear Canadian exporters, what you do matters more than ever. And in the face of uncertain times, export development.
Whatever Irish heritage or whatever is fun from my dad. I know that, and he enjoys it, so it'll be good tonight.
How would you describe kind of the mood, the atmosphere around the team's been obviously a tough stretch. What's your sense of the group right now?
Yeah, I think we're in a position now where we're dealing with a little bit of adversity. We're capable of doing that. I think the test for us at this time is good, and it's an important one for us to deal with head on, and we're going to work right through it.
Austin said something the other day that you guys got to get your head around the fact that this is playoff hockey from now on. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you come back from the break, the Four Nations break, those games mean more. If you look at our division, it's tight. The Eastern Conference is tight, and so these games are important. The points are important. You can't afford to give points away, especially within your division. And when you do, it just puts an added importance on your next couple of games. You got to fight back, and that's the position we're in. And I think it's a great opportunity for us to rise and come together and start playing some good hockey.
Morgan, how much of it are you keeping tabs on what Tampa and Florida are doing right now?
More so than in November, but still, I think as a group right now, we have to focus on ourselves and what we can do. We have to play a better brand of hockey. We have things to work on, special teams and whatnot. So, we got to take care of ourselves, and then, once we get that, we'll start looking around at other stuff. But right now, it's just about us and improving off what we've been doing and playing better.
How does the leadership group kind of handle a thing like this? Like the guys who wear letters, like how would you describe what you guys are doing to address it?
Oh, I think it's just a matter of everything I just talked about. It's a bit of team adversity right now. So as a group of leaders, whatever, or as a group of 23 plus guys, it's just about coming together and acknowledging that we need to improve and the importance of this time of year and the points that are at stake every night, and improving on the areas that we've identified. And so it's a good test for us at this time of year, and I think it's a really good opportunity for our group to improve and kind of overcome it.
Who sort of opponent are you expecting tonight?
Very competitive. Obviously this time of year, everyone's playing hard. Everyone's fighting, so I would expect it to be very competitive and intense game.
There's an emphasis on the details after Saturday night's game. Like, what were some of maybe the key details that are emphasized going into tonight's game?
There's always details. That's what the game comes down to. Little things, stick position, puck battles in the corner, box outs, odd man rushes for and against. Like all that stuff just comes down to details. And we're always focused on those things. And I think also there's, the overarching themes of, being more competitive and, executing at a higher level. Those big things are also important. So, as a group, we know what we're going through. We know what we're dealing with. We've had a chance to kind of sit with it and talk about it. And, like I said earlier, it's a good opportunity for our group to overcome some adversity at a very important time in the season and move forward.
John, what's your sense of the kind of mood, the atmosphere around the team heading into this one tonight?
I think excited. Obviously, we've had some games here, some results haven't gone our way in certain parts of our game that we know have to be better. So I think just excited to get back at it. Today's obviously unique with the St. Paddy's Day game's always a lot of fun and different type of feel to it in terms of the atmosphere around the building and the fan base and wearing green and all that. So I think something to enjoy as well and bring our best tonight.
What's the key, in your experience, to snapping out of a bit of a skid when you're going through it at this time of year?
I think just staying very composed and just staying with it. Go back to what makes your foundation so strong as a team, as an individual. What you do really, really well, and certain standards that you have to meet, and not trying to overthink things or over-adjust and all that, but understand who we are and what brings that out throughout a long season that's earned us where we're at today, and just know that, reinforce those things, and go out there and execute and enjoy it as well. It's a great time of year. Heading down the stretch, we know how competitive it is, how tight it is. It's a great opportunity, so to enjoy it as well.
How important is internal accountability, John, when it comes to times like this? Just the group figuring out themselves in this room, maybe without even Craig?
It's imperative. Yeah, it's imperative. I think it's great. It's great opportunity to continue just to work through things that haven't been going our way, not being on the right side of it, being in some tight, close games here, and especially against some divisional opponents and whatnot. Obviously, a lot of teams fighting hard for positioning, playoff berths, all those sorts of things. So we got a ton to play for in here, and it's an important part that we continue to push yourself individually and certainly one another.
What have you liked about the feel when Holmberg's been there with you and William?
Yeah, I think obviously the Swedish connection there on my wings is nice, and sometimes I got to figure out what they're talking about, but it's great. Obviously, my familiarity with Willie, and I think Holmer's been playing well. Certainly, it's great to see him get to see the puck go in the net for him and make some really good plays. He's obviously shown the versatility in his time here with us, and his puck protection, his competitive level, ability to be really strong on his skate, strong on the puck, I think is a major asset that want to continue to use and for us to benefit. And I think it's been really solid when we've played together here over the last little while.
Calgary missing backman right now. They're really leaning on Kadri. Kind of gotten to see him up close, obviously. What kind of opponent are you expecting tonight what sort of ever expecting from Kadri tonight?
Yeah, I mean, knowing Nas as long as I have, I think extremely competitive player, extremely talented. So, and doesn't let a whole lot kind of bug him. I think he just goes out there and plays his game and plays hard. So, always expect him to want to make an impact. So, got to be obviously aware of the things that he does really well, and for us as a team to play our game and make it difficult on a player like Nas, especially with what he's capable of, what he's accomplished, and how well he's played this year.
Urgency, I think. We obviously know how the past few games have been going. We're excited to play. We're excited to get back on the winning track.
What has to change on the ice?
I just think a compete level, just urgency. Obviously, these past few games haven't been great for us compete-wise, so we got to get back on that end and climb up the division.
What are you hearing or seeing or sensing from the leadership group as you guys go through this stretch?
It's just like I said, it's just we got to dial in these habits. These last 14 games are crucial to setting us up for a successful playoffs.
When you've been out there with Domi and McMahon, what have you liked about the mix there?
Yeah, I mean, we just complement each other. Like I said, the shooting mentality, speed. We play a lot similarly, so we can kind of know what we're doing.
What sort of opponent are you expecting tonight? What sort of Flames team are you expecting?
A desperate team. Obviously, they want to come in and get a win, so we got to deflect that and get a win for ourselves.
Craig, what's the sense of the group coming off the loss the other day? They're obviously going through it right now. What are you sensing from the guys?
This morning I think we went over a few things where we're at as a team, and talked about some urgency that we need a little bit. We need more, obviously, throughout the game, not when it's desperate time. I think last game, I thought that. We talked about it, that Ottawa was a little more hungry than us early on in that game. We got to get that battle level and that urgency level up. Guys understand that. They're not very happy right now, which is a good thing. And, that's really the message. The message, too, is we're right there. I mean, we've got 2 games in hand here. We've got to take care of our business, and starting with tonight's game only and focus on that. And, go from there.
So when you're talking about where you're at, do you mean in the standings and in the battle here?
Well, our whole game, Yeah, it hasn't been, the Florida game was a good game. I mean, tight game. Could have went either way. But, and that's a very good team. And not that Ottawa's not a good team, but I didn't think our battle level was high enough against Ottawa from the start of the game. It got better as we into the third period, and we had our opportunities to tie it up, but we got to start on time.
What led to the decision to go back to lines that you were kind of more familiar with?
Just success that we've had, and the chemistry that they have. And then I wanted to create a line of with Lawton and Lorenz and Yarny of just more of an identity line, a checking line.
Are you sensing that the energy levels are increasing a little bit after a couple of days off? After the
Yeah, well, I didn't love the energy levels the last couple of games, to be honest with you. But, I feel like I felt today in practice they were better. And, it was quiet, but I think that they're not very happy right now. Our group, they're upset about things and they're pissed off. So that's a good thing. But I find that the energy is better today.
How do you plug the leak in the PK right now?
Well, I mean, there's mistakes that happen on PKs, right? And there's goals that go in. I mean, the one went off Tanny. I mean, it's we're not going to go away from what we do as a penalty kill unit, but there's always things that we try to clean up on it a little bit. Again, on the penalty kill side of things, it's got to be a little bit more urgency in that department too, and blocking some more shots, taking care of the front of the net. If you look at the goals that Florida scored on us, they're right there in the crease, and we gotta win those. We gotta do a better job of that.
Where's Scott Watson's game in terms of where he is and where he can?
Well, his best game was last game. Way more involved playing his type of hockey that he plays. And that was one of the thoughts going into putting this line together. That's probably a good line for him. That's playing that hard hockey, that heavy hockey, checking hockey, physical, with those two guys. So we'll see where it goes.
Morgan's game at the last stretch?
Well, it's dropped off like the rest of our team, I think, with the travel and that stretch we had in the road, and again, energy. He was going pretty good there for a while, and I believe he'll be back. I think again, it's getting the energy back and the excitement back. Being at home here now for a bit, so.
In your experience, how much can a coach affect the players' urgency, or does it have to come from them, from your leader?
Well, we're definitely part of it, myself included, that, we talk about it a lot. We talk about, playing these teams that are, fighting for playoffs and the desperation they have. So it's not like it's not talked about.
Yeah, in that vein, what do you expect from Calgary tonight? Like, what stands out to you about the Flames?
They work and they're competitive. That's a hard-working team over there. Very competitive, and their goaltending's been really, really. The Wolves played really well for them this year. But we're going to get a hard game. That's the way I look at it. It's going to be a battle.
Introducing Chewy is the proud partner of your Toronto Maple Leafs and their pets. At Chewy, you can get everything delivered for life with pets. Score pet faves at the Leaf Shop today.